First of all, we want to thank everybody for being here today. I'm joined up here with Representatives Halbrook, Representative Skillicorn, Representative Calkins, and Representative Miller. And we're here today because the people in our districts all over the state of Illinois, they're demanding action. They see this crisis of corruption unfolding right before our eyes, and they don't accept it. And they don't understand the lack of urgency from their elected representatives when it comes to dealing with the rampant unethical behavior that we're seeing here. And we agree. It's embarrassing, it's unacceptable, but it's not a new issue. Corruption, self-dealing, influence peddling at the highest levels, it's all an epidemic in Illinois politics. It's the kind of behavior you get when one party, and even further, one man gets too big, too powerful, and too unaccountable. But we want to be clear here. While much of the focus lately has been on Democrats and what's happened to Democrats, we're ready and willing to expose and root out corruption without regard to political affiliation, wherever it leads us. And to the good people of Illinois that are just sick of all of this stuff, we hear you. We realize the need for reform and accountability is a matter of urgency. How can this government possibly move forward with credibility without robust anti-corruption safeguards in place? How can people in Illinois trust government when we leave the same people in charge? The people are demanding accountability. And if you're a lawmaker that's working hard, trying to do things right, no matter what party you're in, you have an obligation to demand it as well. And we just simply don't accept the notion that creating some commission that's dominated and powered by the same party that has multiple members under investigation right now is the urgent and appropriate response that Illinois citizens deserve. We don't accept the idea that the same leadership that's created, tolerated, and benefited from this very culture of corruption is interested or even capable of reforming it. The people deserve better. They deserve more respect than what they're getting. Any casual observer here in Illinois can see the corruption in our system, and they rightfully have zero confidence that the people in power that are benefiting from it have any desire to really root it out. I mean, if a stacked commission is the best that we can do in the face of historic corruption, then how can we blame the everyday average Illinois citizen that can't stand their politicians? There's dozens of good bills and good ideas that have been put out there to get us started. Many of these are even bipartisan. If we had the will and if we had the urgency, this wouldn't be hard to move on. It's not that difficult, but it's complicated. It's complicated for some because so many people are so tightly tangled up into this mess, and they have a vested interest in maintaining the status quo that's given them their power and their position. Some of our colleagues spoke yesterday about leadership change in Chicago. We support that, and we hope that the folks on the other side of the aisle support that as well. We need leadership change, but we need more than that. And that's why we're here today. Governor Pritzker has said that this situation is disgusting and it's unacceptable. We couldn't agree with that more. If this governor is serious about rooting out corruption, he should answer our demands for reform and accountability by calling a special session of the legislature that would allow everyone a voice in dealing with this corruption epidemic. We're here, we're going to be here, and we're ready to go. This has to be a priority. This has to happen before we can move on anything else. If this is important to political leadership, if it's important to the governor, he can make it happen. And our Democrat colleagues, they can't be silent on this. Being silent in the face of this is being complicit. We need them to use their influence to call on the governor to convene a special session where we set aside time to focus solely on debating and enacting the strong anti-corruption measures that are the essential first steps in restoring trust, confidence, and credibility with the people of Illinois. This is a distinct opportunity to show the people that sent us here that we're serious. We have the time, we have the ideas, but the question is, do we have the courage? If so, there's no excuse for not getting this done immediately. It's in times like these that we have to pick the side of history that we want to be on. Are we going to be courageous leaders that are finally willing to stand up to the system and demand change? Or will we continue to do nothing as the credibility of our institutions is shredded? This is an opportunity to show what true public service is all about.